Ding ding indeed. Because we've got Helping Hands, UK's very own #1 player, because Isilda's not in this tournament. It's GCS3, because everyone in this tournament's going to be playing live in Denmark in 2 weeks' time. And your man James, the most successful streamer in co-history, has been doing it longer than anybody else, is playing Wehrmacht on mine and Ed 80Hz's favourite map. And who's he up against, Ed?
Yeah, good old Favoriteville making its appearance now. And Oziligath, the French mastermind with tactical support company locked in, will be the opposition of Hans today. And although James has a lot of fans and a lot of anime lovers, they're going to come flocking to see him play. Oziligath is no slouch, folks. He might not have the bigger profile, but he's definitely got the skills and the will to play at top level here. And yeah, Matt, one thing about Hans is he's very kind of safety first, cautious with his play in the early game, and Oziligath picking USF might be wanting to upset that.
It could be. I think Hans is, when he first started practicing for this tournament about 2 or 3 months ago, he looked really bad. I'm going to admit it. And all of his fans will admit it as well. He looks not just rusty, because it wasn't rusty, because obviously he plays 4v4 and 2v2 and stuff. But as far as 1v1, his psychology was so weak. And he was so... you could roll him so easily. But already, he's now battling up against Asherblar in a 53-minute game that Alpern cast the other weekend. He's already gotten back that 1v1 psychology. And I think that makes him a dark horse. Because Helping Hands has been to places like the likes of Gibber, and these other guys have never been. He's actually won big tournaments against the world's best. And it may have been in 2016... but you cannot deny the historical pedigree of Mr. Helping Hands.
And I think he did it all on live streaming it as well, so there's that added pressure and everything. But here we go. Early on, it's going to be a sniper build from Hans, so very slow and steady opener here from him. He's going to hope Oziligath kind of doesn't pile on the pressure early, because a sniper this early, Matt, I don't know.
It's good.
It's
fame
to
and
do well with the old MG42. That's what I'm gonna say.
I think it's a cracking move, because it's got a massive wide open field here, perfect for sniper place. Also, we removed these fences recently because top players were saying it was a bit difficult to get out of base over here. So the sniper's actually got kind of less. Well, he's still got the yellow cover, but he's got more traversability now. Great move. It's going to be now betting on whether this sniper gets over 40 or under 40 kills, in my opinion. If the game goes long, that is.
Oziligath just feeling the pinch of that first shot. It's always the most painful one, isn't it, when you notice the snipers coming out on the field.
It's the shot of 1,000 shots, Ed, because every time that first shot opens up, you're reminded of all the other games you've been frustrated by a sniper. It's compounded, aggregated, and accumulative sniper shot. That first one, isn't it? You know exactly what I mean, don't you, co-fans?
It's a bit like the 120mm Morton whistle. I think it has a similar impact.
Oh, yeah.
Has been nerfed this tournament. And here we go. Hans with a good early MG42 play, suppressing the rifles up top for the Pioneers, but nice flank and shank here from Oziligath. And yeah, the Frenchman's forcing off Hans' MG42.
And he's got a volley off in the south as well against this Gren. They seek heavy cover and they get it, but not before the health damage kicks in. And here comes another one. So fuel control-wise, I would say it's 1-0 right now. Pioneer, very low health.
Yeah, that's what I was keeping a little eye on, and I thought, oh my, where was the chase? I don't know. Tightrope wouldn't have been happy with that one, but Oziligath not bothered about that Pioneer. He's got bigger fish to fry. So he pushes out to regain his fuel.
Yeah, Rifles and Lieutenant pushing into the southwest now from Oziligath. Lieutenant, of course, meaning that he will, of course, be going for Stuart, most likely. No, he's going for an M20, just as I say it. Interesting start there.
Counter-sniper build, I like it. And he's also got
look at the sniper, Ed. Just to interrupt you there. The sniper's got 2 clear shots, but he can't take them. What's he doing? Go prone.
He's doing
burpees. And he missed.
Oh. It's camera shy, Matt. We can't look at him. If you don't look at him, he hits. It's like Schrodinger's cat or something.
Yes, so Bao Liang said Stuart timing's going to be brutal. but he's gone for the M20. I'm kind of thinking, yeah, I think maybe pushing for the Stuart first would have been good, but the M20 could be good as well. It's not.
But
not
this
bad.
map control is totally down to the sniper pick in my mind.
Yeah.
You don't lose this much map with your 3 or 4 Gren build. And
No.
yeah, hopefully James can find his footing again and make this an absolute doozy of a game, which I think it will be. I think this is going to be the closest series of all the first best 3 rounds.
Do you think even closer than Findeed versus Refero, which went 2-1? That was close.
Yeah, I thought that was close on paper, but this one's going to be like a surprisingly close.
Oh, I see.
Series,
Yeah, like an interesting surprise tale of underdog.
Yeah, my bad on how I.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So M20 couldn't make use of the bonus of the road there because that's been removed. No red cover on a competitive tourney, Faymanville. But what we are going to see on the road instead is an M20 mine in a very juicy location. And that could catch HelpingHans' 222 off guard and cause him all kinds of hurt.
And Hans cancelled a Gren to get the 222 out sooner, so he could go colliding into that M6 anti-tank mine.
It does have a sweeper, however, but it's currently in the south, and it's on the munitions.
Snipe on 7 kills for 6 minutes. Winnable, winnable. But it's not looking good with the M20 bearing down on the sniper there, but he backs off. Maybe a premonition there from Oziligath, who's representing quite a rare country of tournament player, France.
Yes. Not many French players in Co 2, must be said. Co 1 has a few.
Well, Scotch from the TV2.
Oh, Scotch! He's the best French player in Co 2 history, definitely. He just didn't like 1v1. He's an amazing player. Oh, 222 finds the M20. We do have riflemans coming around the horn, though. But yeah, Scotch could have been a 1v1 contender. He just doesn't like it, which is his prerogative. I did ask him multiple times.
Cap here for USF, though, Matt, and he's getting to the base cutoff. Even shooting the base with his Garans.
Has any health damage been done to the base? I don't think so. Right, Stuart's out as well now. Oziligath continuing his assault. Hans with this sniper play. Maybe... Not going to say cocky, because I do think a sniper on Fayman is decent. But usually people go sniper later. They back-tech these days. They don't go sniper first, because you lose too much control. And your 222 is too delayed.
Yeah, it could be a bit of game 1 nerves from Hans, or if you flip reverse it, a bit too overconfident, thinking sniper would just roll the USF, and Oziligath's done very well. He hasn't been too impatient, has he? Which is nice to see, and he's even picked up the big M1919A6 light machine guns on his rifleman, so he's basically got snipers of his own now.
Yeah, and that's a good point. He may be able to pick the sniper off at some point. I think Ozil's played without fear thus far. He's not feared HelpingHans. HelpingHans used to have a lot of kudos and a lot of street credibility for his his tournament prowess.
Street
and in this
cred
case,
in the most
used to
online
wear
world.
his face. How are you doing, fellow children? Etc. But in this case, no. Ozil's just played his game, and he's played very well thus far. And the sniper's now got to be on the back foot to evade these LMGs.
But he brings the boys to the internet yard, doesn't he? Does HelpingHans? Everybody turns up to watch him.
He's such a character, that's why.
And you don't even have to. Is this the time?
You don't
Tim
even have
Henman
to.
of Go2 comes back again. But yeah. Sorry, you said about time.
You don't even have to have his stream or his voice on, because you know exactly what he's saying. It's almost like we've watched so much of Hans playing. Even to watch him being cast, it's like his personality kind of protrudes through his units. Let's talk about the strategy now. Let's talk about HelpingHans' critical mass. He's got 3 Grenadiers, an MG, and a pack, a 222. So I think he's recovered from the sniper being built so early.
Yeah, showing a lot of Vavavoom is Oziligath here in the early 10 minutes of this game. He's got a great VP lead. Hans, though, does now have 3 Grens, finally. Not one with an LMG, though, yet, Matt. That's tough life for the Wehrmacht.
Yeah, it is.
first sandbag goes down of the game. That's quite refreshing to see that it took 10 minutes to be slapped down.
Good point, good point. Presume he's got his bunker and base, he has. That's where his munitions have been spent. We have an ambulance.
Yeah, there's no cheeky Helping Hands rifle nades either yet, so maybe saving them all up for later game when you're more potentially brain FK.
So if Hans can get one victory point in a fuel and keep this sniping operation, he could start to really hurt Oziligath. Let's go check the KD and reveal that it's 32-16 for Hans so far, which versus USF is significant. But the victory point score is something my eyes are drawn to, and that's not looking so healthy.
No, and the LMG rifles are actually pretty good on this map. There's quite a few little cheeky green cover spots, and it's so hard to push off, so Sniper's going to have to be everywhere at once, it seems, for this game. M20 on the left flank. I would love to see a few more of those big boy mines, but Oz is clearly wanting LMGs on absolute every...
Ooh, Talamine here, by the way, and the M20's rolling right up to it. Goodbye. Oh, there you go. Made himself some green cover.
Do you remember when, I think it's Red Alert, but when you hit a mine, it was like doink?
Yes, it was. Yeah, what an interesting sound effect that was.
Because anything but doink in Code 2, that was ba-boom. See you later, M20. But he did his job. He laid an M6 mine before he died.
He did indeed. Maybe he can get revenge from behind the veil. We'll wait and see.
First loss here for Oziligath. We'll see how his morale holds up and his concentration.
He's had an excellent start as the Frenchman.
Yep. But big boost there for Hans as well, who didn't have an excellent start. So swings and roundabouts with the mentalities, I think, of both players.
This again, another excellent comment from Bauliang and chat. It's been a bit of a common theme today. 28-minute Panzer IV incoming, because Hans has had such poor fuel control, but he's nowhere near out of this game because he's going double pack 40s. And the big question for me, Ed, is how will he survive the mortar and how will he survive the Calliope later on? Because he's going for the Noah's Ark support weapon meta, which I always thought would be great for Helping Hands. I'm so glad he's gone back on saying AT guns are worthless. Because I was like, dude, they're just not.
Well, they're very much a necessity, really, in 1v1 world, it seems.
And 2v2 world.
I often play without one, and I'm always thinking, if I had an AT gun right about now. So, they're definitely not worthless, I'd say. But it's how you use them, and I'd go on record of saying Hans is probably one of the best support weapons controllers, or
he was originally, yeah, he was
that
originally.
I've ever seen on stream, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
First person playing.
I would say so, mate. His micro is so sharp and fast on a unit-by-unit basis. I think you're right, mate, yeah.
Yeah. I've seen the Kimbo rivals up there, and Love Nest, well, we haven't seen a Love Nest stream in a while, but in terms of just sheer speed, and he seems to go into a frantic haze, doesn't he, of super micro skill for like a 2-minute burst that's Helping Hands. And, sometimes gets him out of a lot of sticky
rifle low, but he's not being focus fired. By the way, the reason we're not mentioning Isildur, who's clearly the best support weapon player of all time, is because it's boring to say Isildur, because he won too much. Like, we know Isildur's the best, whatever. Let's say people that aren't him.
So British, with a load of shit, even if it's a British player who's the best.
He's the Schumacher.
We love underdog, so we
do. Right, we got a P-47 strafing run on this target right here. Is it going to be okay? It's coming in roundabout now. It's a lot of damage.
That hedge, though. I thought the MG42 was going to go down for sure, but pretty meek strafe there. But nice from Oziligath, utilizing everything he can of his doctrine.
Look at this. These aren't geese. These aren't geese going home for the winter. These are indeed Jaeger command squads in that flying V formation coming onto the map now. Also got Helping Hands going.
Storm doctrine, yeah. Bit of left H action late game. Who knows? But interesting from Hans. He goes straight past the munis. Notices the VPs have been hellaciously bad in this early game and gets down a sandbag just before he has to retreat. I say retreat, but
There he goes.
yeah, bit of a kamikaze retreat there.
Let's go for the northern victory point now. The sniper, by the way, is a Vet 2 24 kill sniper. He's had a fantastic game. The first Sherman's on its way, just an M4A3 of the standard variety.
Wonder what happened to infantry doctrine of the Oster. It just fell off the meta, didn't it? It used to be everywhere, and 5-man Grens was basically meat and potatoes for Oster, but
You know what it is? It's the manpower issues of having just relying on these grenadiers all the time. I think support weapons, if you base your Wehrmacht play around support weapons, you have a much better economy. I think GID...
I just never build Grens, forehead. I just go pyro spam straight into those P Grens. But not advised, not advised. Sherman does hit the field map.
Yep. Here he comes, going straight north. The Jaegers, but the pack was waiting. But I tell you what, this pack is flankable. Also got a strafe coming in somewhere.
Strafe run to come take on the pack, but
Oh yeah.
not a Faust from Hans's.
Oh, that was
Jaeger
clutch
squad.
MG there, Ed. Clutch MG has to stop. But meanwhile, the Jaegers have been hurt by the Sherman. They have to retreat. Hans is
They're not Fausting,
operating on fine margins here. Very fine margins. He's hurt the rifleman. Will the rear echelon take him out there? Meanwhile, we've had a big hit down south. I don't know what that was. Can you find out what that was, Ed, maybe?
Yeah, there's an explosion right next to the 222. Just a mortar, I think, hitting a mine.
Okay.
I think
Mortar
a mine was
detonated a
hit by the
teller
mine.
mine. That's what it'll be.
Yeah.
Fair enough. The sniper's still alive.
Forensics
Everything.
wonder scene.
Yeah, everything somehow survived there. Hans with a miraculous operation. This MG faced south, stopped the rifles with the LMG coming and saved the pack's life, quite frankly. Staying alive for now.
And then we go with that support play again. But what wasn't on point was the Jaegers didn't get the Faust off, so I don't know if Hans was too busy microing someone else, or maybe he didn't have the munis. I'd have to check. But Sniper's still alive. That's the key thing. 27 kills, Matt. And the longer this game goes on, the more annoying that manpower bleed is. But Oziligath creeping up to Calliope, which was mentioned a bit in chat. That's going to be an absolute showstopper.
It really is. That first salvo's going to be all important. Let's hope, to the Calliope god's sake. I think Calliope's probably named after some Greek god or something. Oh, we just had a full wipe by the Sherman! Oh my, that was a whole Gren squad. Look at them bunch Blair Witch Project style. Ouch!
Up on green cover at your own risk, Matt. That was nasty.
Oh dear.
Every shot. Hans will not be happy with that one. Does get a Faust on King Stuart though in the mid.
Yeah, the Sherman's found the MG, the Pack's found the Sherman, and everything's kicking off. Now we've had a huge strafe on the... Is that another Gren down to a strafe?
Yeah, should have lost the sniper as well. I don't know how the sniper survived a strafe to the face. It seems the suppression made him take negligible damage afterwards, but yeah, and 2 Grens down in 2 minutes for Hans. Tries to get revenge on a rifleman squad, but the Pioneers could go down and they're vet too, Matt.
Yeah, he needs them. He needs them. The rear echelons could finish them off here, but they're on the move. He allowed the Pioneers to survive. It's worker units chivalry. Another Sherman on its way. Hans really needs to start bunching these packs up and playing safer. But he can't because the victory points are ticking down against him. This is just classic play by Ozil.
Amazing. Oziligath getting his Eric Cantona victory speech warmed up. Might hear about seagulls later if he wins this one, folks. But yeah, Hans meant to be the behemoth of this bracket. It's a really tough time in game 1.
It really is. Some people were warning us about this. Saying Ozil, another strafe. Or is this a reconnaissance run by the Major? Or the just seeing where everything's coming out.
I've never seen the strafing run utilised so much in a 1v1 as Oziligath's done, so credit to him there. He's really making the most of this doctrine. And he's got the LMGs to back it up on 4 squads.
Alright, we've got Stuart in the south, the Sherman in the centre, and the other Sherman's currently north, possibly coming in for a pincer attack. What is Hans doing? Why is his fuel at 150 and there's no Panzer IV on the field? What's going on there?
just manpower differences. I think he's just working overtime. If we've you know, bigged up his support weapon plays so much, but it does take.
Oh, here comes that Sherman I was thinking about, Ed. In the north, he's come all the way into the space. Oh, he's really putting the hurt in. The other one comes down where that tower used to be. The sniper's having to hide. Both packs are in like a last stand situation at the saloon.
Yeah, may lose a pack crew here, but as I was saying, his support crew plays usually so good hands, but it takes up a lot of his micro, it takes up a lot of his thinking time, and Oziligath just going to work, killing those 2 Grents. Huge swing. Pax, do you get some vet though, and they're still alive, getting healed up. Hans is not out of this one yet, but the Noah's Ark support crews hopefully we'll be able to help him out, get back into this game, because this is almost stompy. 20 minutes?
Yeah.
450 VPs? That's such a good control from Oziligath.
He's not out of it though, Hans. He's not out of it, and that's the crazy thing. Although he really needs to get a tank out soon, to give the packs and the MG stability that they desperately need, he's certainly not out of it quite yet.
GG Mortar hitting hard there. Gets vet 2 and has 1 kill. Just because it does so much HP damage to squads. Ballsy poke there from Hans on the left with the 2-2 at half HP, but oh, having to roll the dice now, and Oziligath is forcing him to play very risky.
Friends take green cover position against the LMG rifleman, vet 3 rifleman. Mortar's working overtime. Panzer IV's finally coming out. Finally! Oh, there we go. The Stuart hits the telemine. We didn't even spot that. That's it.
We got him.
Oh, look at this Sherman. He's destroying both bunkers now. Both bunkers.
Yeah, base inspections galore from Oziligath. Just wants to check if it's still there.
Papier and bitter.
Yeah. But this MG42 squad, 1 HP between 4 models, and it ain't no infantry section, so I think Hans should pull it back. I know he's scared about keeping the rifleman at bay, but he does definitely need some Marvin Gaye treatment.
He's going to need Michael Bay on board with this Panzer IV, because we're going to need an epic montage of destruction. We're going to need...
Definitely got the skin for it though. The flashy skins might help him.
Yeah. Allegedly, historically, authentic. Allegedly.
Pretty sure you see that at Bovington. Get back.
Bovington in the 60s with their LSD period, inspired by Jimi Hendrix collection. Panzer IV forces away the lieutenant vitally, because of course he doesn't want a triple cap. He's 146 and down at the moment.
More than anything, Hans just needs Grenz back now. He's got a P4, double AT gun. I think he's pretty much as good as it gets in there. But Oziligath, the absolute Chad, doesn't give a crap about Calliope. Goes for the Scott instead. So.
Yep, there it is.
Oh, the motor carriage of Doom. That thing is just pain on wheels.
It certainly is. It's going to be a nightmare for Hans to deal with. All these support weapons. And Fayetteville's such a short map. He's got guaranteed access. Smoke charges detonate. He gets another shot in here. Can Hans capitalise? Panzer IV roars into action. Hans knows he needs a big action right now. There's 2 targets waiting for him. One in. He needs another. He needs another. He needs to go stationary. He's targeting it right now. He's already used the smoke. That Sherman's down. It's Hans on the comeback trail.
Definitely does even up things a little bit. There's still another Sherman though. Just like London buses, they come in pairs. And yeah, Oziligath just letting his eye off the ball there for a second, and Hans showing you he still got it.
All it takes is a damaged engine sometimes, and Hans smelt blood and he went for the jugular. Right, this is a bad position for his MG42. The Sherman's being repaired in the heat of combat. He's pushing all the way up. He's going to gun the repairing crew down if they're not careful. That needs to be seen very quickly. Meanwhile, the sniper could be spotted by the lieutenant here. Right, we've got a suppressed vehicle crew. What's Oziligath doing? Sniper gets away, Pack wheels away. Meanwhile, Panzer IVs, what is it doing? That's a suppressed vehicle crew. Oziligath's overstretched.
Don't jump on the front line, Matt.
Yeah, Oziligath has overstretched
It's going to
his
be
supply
stolen,
lines.
Sherman. He's going to nab it.
He has, he's got it. He overstretched his supply lines of micro. He got tired and Hans was waiting. Hans took full advantage. There's that M6 anti-tank mine. The Sherman's going to roll back into it in a second. That is grand larceny there. The Panzer IV will take the bullet, it will seem.
GTA Code 2 edition.
GTA indeed. Now the ambulance.
Tread Baker on the P4. This game has got everything, folks.
Oh, it's like a 5-ring circus out there. We got clowns, we got jugglers, we got tread-broken Panzer IVs in no man's land. What a shot by the Sherman, though. Getting maximum kills. Jackson's going to come out and clear out. What a calamitous display from both players. Hans got good luck and bad luck. Ozil got tired and don't know what that was. But,
well, I think he just misclicked, and what a misclick to do on USF forces. That's what I was scared about against Loveness, so I was fixing up my Stewart with rear echelon, but he just jumped out at the worst possible timing. Good pickup there from Hans.
Raid coming in. P47 recon run leading the way. Now Ozil's got a problem, and that problem is packs. He's going to, well, if the packs are facing the right way, they need to very soon, because he's going to push the Jackson up here. Oh, okay, it's already dead. He's going to get the Sherman away, though.
Scott's going to be a problem. Double MG doesn't really mean much now.
Okay, smoke bombs utilised. This is a massive smoke bomb for Hans if he's to stay in this game. He needs the Sherman to stay alive.
You don't say that every day as an austere player. Needing your Sherman, but he does have HE shells now, so he's got some good anti-infantry.
Yeah,
didn't rebuild any Grens, but instead went triple pyro delight. Interesting.
He needs to stop reinforcing this Grenadier because he's got 125 fuel as we speak. He's got a triple cap on the go. He needs to repair. He's got a lot to do. And if I sound like I'm supporting Hans, I'm not. But Oziligath looked like the superior player for this game so far, didn't he, Ed? So I'm kind of thinking Hans is the underdog all of a sudden.
He started off like Talisman. Epic Famenville control from the French player, but in true Cantona style, it's you know, flinging from pro to not so pro within a second. But you got to give it to Hans. He snuffed out that opportunity so well with stealing the P4 with an MG42, suppressing the crew. You can't control what your opponent does, but at least he did the best there of what he could do, and it totally saved his game. Jackson sniping away, getting its veterancy up to halfway.
Oh, that sniper. 30. I said over under 40. I might have sounded like a moron to some people. But look at that. 37. Will it get to 40? We'll have to see.
Just having a little tea break at the moment, it seems.
Yeah.
Just chilling. But what, Hans can't be chilling though. He can't rest on the laurels of a stolen tank. This is still a very tough game for him. And
it is.
He showed that.
And I tell you what, if that Calliope comes out next with a Jackson, with a Scott, that could be doom for Hans's build order. He needs something else. He needs a tank. He keeps floating fuel all the time. And it's irritating my OCD. Because the top players in Code 2 these days, they never float fuel.
Yeah, someone asking in chat, has there ever been a stolen Sherman in tournament gameplay before?
Not for a while, because to be honest, tournament gameplay isn't usually this messy and this fun.
And you
but
never
it is
really
messy
get USF. so yeah. Double win here. Stug in the build.
Stug Geschütz. The assault gun turned tank destroyer of World War II. Most confirmed vehicle kills of any German base platform.
Yeah, pretty Chad move there from Hans, getting the Stug and not saving for a Panther late game. So he's gonna go with the fire rate to try and out-duke the Jackson. And the fire rate is really helpful on the Scott, because it does take 3 hits to kill it. Got buffed a few patches ago, going from 2 hits to 3 hits, and ever since then...
Oh, he cancelled it, Ed. He cancelled it,
Oh,
mate.
P4, okay, a lot A lot more
But
robust
wait.
choice.
Panzer IVs are barely ever seen in tournament play these days. This is massive hype. This is a medium tank. So what this means is more of a generalist unit. Most of the times the guys go for specialist contraptions. I'm really psyched for this. This was the workhorse of the Wehrmacht. Yeah, this is the workhorse of the Wehrmacht in World War II. It did more work than any other tank. Fantastic. It's the only tank in production throughout the entirety of the war for the Wehrmacht. 1937 to 45. Still used in
they
Syria
got
in the
halfway through the
1950s.
alphabet on the models as well of it.
They did.
So, they added a lot of upgrades. Oh
This
no,
is,
helping hands cap on the top. It's literally.
He's done it
Helping
again!
Hands
It's
cap.
legendary! He's done it again!
He's found the only place not to cap the VP next to
Oh, this guy, he just
that light
loves...
lamppost there. Cozy.
Guys, if none of you know what we're referring to, in the early Master League days, 2020, coronavirus times, Hans lost a game by not capping the Northern Victory Point. And he's just lost a vetted MG42. The Sherman's got to stop that happening. Meanwhile, in the southwest, Panzer IV dukes it in over there. And that's a stolen MG. Jackson comes in. Hurts the Panzer IV. We've got the rear echelon, the central victory point. Hans is capping up north finally.
HE Sherman working for Hans. This is such a strange sight to see, but it is definitely helping him out there against the rifles.
Do you know why Hans does this error, by the way? Because he doesn't use tac maps. So when he's like zipping around the map, he clicks the movement command.
It's the game's shortcoming, though. I get it all the time.
As well, but if you use
You
tac
should-
map, you
your
click
squad
the
should go
points.
cap. Yes, but
Yeah,
you shouldn't have to use tac map to go to the point.
Yeah, but I'm just explaining to people
sympathise a
why
bit.
he
Yeah,
makes the
yeah,
mistake.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
There are
is
ways
why,
that you
but
cannot make that mistake. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Sherman pushes in. He's spotting for things, I think. Wants to kill the Jackson. Thinks better of it. Reverses away. Sniper's getting the cap, by the way, on the central victory point. That thing has 43 kills now.
Water still raining down. That can get a lucky pop on that, but Vet 3 Sniper I think might survive it. Yeah, still has the stun round available as well. That can always help out.
It does. In the north, by the way, Lieutenant's capping the north victory point. That's really dangerous. We've got a P-47 recon run just to F with Hans's mind. He doesn't bite the bust.
Yep, but will reveal his sniper, so good work there to retreat it early. Takes down I think the 50 cal on top of the Sherman, gets the lane kill. That's going to help his veterancy as well.
He's actually retreat too much, and this looks like the death knell for Hans. All this big pushing from Ozil, he's going to cap so many points. In the north, by the way, the 222 just gains its 14th kill. I believe forced away this lieutenant.
Yeah, I've had 3 vision. This is exactly helping Hans territory now. Late game Famenville. He's normally very comfortable in this position.
Mate, it's going to have to be like legendary comeback if he wins this. He's thinking
I
of a
don't
mortar,
think
then
it's
he's gone
even
for
a
stun.
comeback kind of situation at the moment now. It's pretty even, I'd say.
You think? 87
Just
victory
one
points
Jackson.
left?
Oh yeah, the
87
VPs
yeah.
are rough, but
Dude, he's hanging on by a thread at the moment. One big push from USF.
and there's
triple
a
cap and
USF MG42 question mark, but yeah, everybody's swapping units.
oh,
this
the Scot nearly annihilates that Grenadier there. The Sherman comes in to push him away. He can ill afford these manpower losses at this point. He needs all of his troops healthy and on the field to apply maximum pressure.
game. Yeah, Hans had HE loaded, so did 0 damage on the Scott. That's pretty unimpressive from the Sherman there. Another strafing run called in from Oziligath. He just has munis to burn, it seems.
Yeah,
And the Stug is going to be called in and not cancelled, because I don't think he can cancel in time now.
that's
There
it.
we go.
The
That's the
mighty
GD button.
Sturmgeschütz is on the field. The propaganda minister announces. And this is going to be a vital component of Hans's army. It should keep these pesky units from invading that central territory.
Sacre bleu, there is a Sturmgesetz. And
Oh, this
Fire
rifleman's looking low. Can he finish
Yeah.
it off with a Sherman max range attack round? No, it's not going to happen. Meanwhile, the Terminator rifleman with those LMGs push through the centre.
Hans changing his AP on the Sherman a lot earlier now, so he is ready to go. And with the fire rate of the Stug, I think he needs to get in there. There's no AT guns from Oziligath. That's why I think this game's pretty even.
Oh, the 222 was annihilated there by Jackson and Sherman in tandem. Here comes Helping Hands' infantry. He's just done a smoke bomb to try and stop this stolen MG from suppressing him. And he needs to get the central victory point. He needs tank support to come in second. The Stoke's going to offer some of that.
Double AT guns from Hans, just not really in the right positions at the moment.
Yeah, let's play with
He
AT
separates
guns.
his support squads really well, but sometimes it does work against him.
No,
It's easy
dude,
just to be a little penguin.
Oh,
Here
the
we go on
Stug's found the
Stug.
Jackson. That's big news. The Jackson just missed. Here comes the Sherman as well. There it is. What an assault by the Stug, saving Hans's bacon. Now the Sherman's out of position. It's Sherman on Sherman. This is not Pornhub. Come on, Stug, you can find it.
Yep, and it's going to be the big rush to the corner now. Goldmine style. Oh, Sherman getting a good hit on the move.
This
Stug doesn't care.
mighty
Stug
Stug
as cheap as
knows
chips.
no bounds. He's got
Expendable.
targets for days in this target-rich environment. He jumps out of the crew. He's pushing through a tree and he jumps back in, finding the Stug's rear armor. He goes stationary. He's no longer phasable through. The Stug's marooned. Here comes a bazooka. It's going to hurt the victorious Super Stug.
Dangershit's failing to take out the Scott. That's painful from Hans there. It was a bit of miss micro at the last hurdle, but fair play. Oziligath's rapid response units got there just in the nick of time. And yeah, this game is even, Matt. I'm telling you, it's not easy for Oziligath. Without any AT guns, it's still going to be a struggle to close this one out against Helping Hands on what I think is his best map.
Yeah, definitely. It's his most famous map. He beat Love Nest in the ESL famously on this one. Many views on YouTube and Twitch, etc. Many people saw him do it. Sniper, by the way, is up to 48 kills. Been sleeping for a while. He's going to start getting to his 50th kill soon.
Could save could save for the Jaeger command squad. I think that would be very useful for Hans.
Oh, the LMGs have found him. He's got a difficult retreat path, but they're suppressed by the Vet 3 now. MG42. So here comes a strafe to punish the MG for hurting him. Skill. And he dies. Karma hits the house. There we go.
I can't believe I just said Jaeger command squad would be good. He already has one. Whoops. So he can't make two. So yeah, I think another Gren then for Helping Hands.
Is
But the
Ozil's...
Stug did work. The Stug was there to make the Jackson look, defenseless when he got in on the inside of it. But Oziligath has taken a lot of mental ability here from both players. They're going to be knackered for game 2 and 3, but they're giving us one hell of a game 1.
They bloody are. This should be the series. Just a best of one. That's all we need.
It'd be worthy of it. Whereas the Vet 2 Sherman, nearly Vet 3, Matt. Can you imagine a stolen tank being your best unit of the game?
Look at this. Look at this glorious bastard. What were they called, guys? The stolen German tanks. What's it called? There was a name for it. They would call it like a prefix before a Sherman or something. There's a name, I swear.
They had it with the planes as well, I think they...
Yeah, Buttes, that's it. Buttes, Sherman.
Sniped the MG42 of the USF variety, so there we go. Helping Hands gets his third MG.
Beutepanzer, indeed. Sorry, by the way,
games to lose now, Matt.
Sorry, by the way, in advance to Dutchman and Orange Pest, but their series will be uploaded after this one on YouTube because this is pay-per-view boxing. This is what people want to see. They want to see the messy stuff, not the classy stuff. The Beutepanzer, Vet 3, looking for the kill on the Scott, but couldn't find it. Clever thinking by Hans.
Has 9 lives. That's the most annoying vehicle to take out in this game. It's got smoke canisters. It's got smoke shells it can shoot.
Kinky Sherman on Sherman action now, though he misses.
Yeah.
And here come those Zooks. Right, fuel, Hans, 136, Oziligath, 296. They've got room to spare as well, but the manpower attrition of this bloodbath is horrendous.
Hans going from strength to strength, Matt, in the last 10 minutes, whereas Oziligath is feeling the bleed. With that sniper still alive, the later it goes. just the more painful it is to go up against. He needs a lucky barrage from the Scot, I feel, to change this tide back for the USF forces here.
Von Ivan's in chat. He's been reawoken by this ultra mental mayhem, sloppy, super duper code 2 play. He's like, we're back in business, boys. This is what I want to see. This is like the glory days.
Somebody throw a Sturmgeschütz capitals. Yeah, we see a Sturm at the top right-hand side of the base. We see a USF. We see an Oster Sherman stolen, and we saw a USF MG42 for a while, so it's had it all this game.
It's a bit awesome. This is like, honestly, KOTO's glory period when it was messy, before the balance got too good and the players got too good. It was so much fun in the good old days of like the cowboy territories of ESL when the offensive veterancy wasn't working and tripwire flares killed 6-man squads.
Only in America.
Got a strafe coming in some... Oh, there's a recon from the major, my bad. Keep mistaking these things.
I'm just amazed Hans has done so well with 1.5 Gren squad. It's just insane how he's done, but I think that's mostly down to the HE Sherman filling in the anti-infantry gap.
And 3 MGs. He's got 3 MGs
What do you
now.
think about no Calliope yet, and also no anti-tank guns?
Crazy, dude.
Bit of
Crazy.
a lapse there.
And now the Jackson's gone. He's got no pressure to apply. And Hans has been allowed back into it for an insane comeback. The sniper, by the way, is on 55 kills. And he's having a duck hunt. He didn't make it easy for himself, though, did he, Hans, in this game, by the looks of it?
No, very slow start. You know what you're sacrificing. You know you're not going to have a good VP lead. Oziligath took full advantage of the early game there against the sniper build, but it's just the wheels kind of fell off a bit with, I would say, his build order went a bit too early into the Scot and Jackson down.
Oh, yeah. MG gets wiped in the south as the Sherman pushes in. Meanwhile, we've got a push into the center. The sniper's low. Oh, he escapes yet again with that 91.
That's the barrage I was on about. It just takes one from the Scot. It's got 16 kills, Matt. That is hellacious. I remember a Love Nest DevM game spinning on its heels just because of the introduction of Scots. But yeah, Hans still crucially has 2 MGs and 2 pack guns available. 2 mediums. And there we go. Vet 3, HE, Sherman for the Oster.
Can we all just take a breather and just appreciate the Vet 3 Beutepanzer? We're 42 minutes in. Oziligath has 245 victory points. He's at 64 pop cap. Hans is at 62. It's crazy to say it, guys. It's now Hans' game to lose this one. How did we get to this point, Ed?
Just sheer GTA ability from Hans. Suppressed the vehicle crew that made a mistake from Oziligath and took full advantage of it, and there you go. It's fine margins at this level of play, and yeah, big swing for HelpingHans. 86 pop cap as well for the good player, so tough stuff now for Oziligath to come up against. He has gone for that Jackson, Matt. Try and put some long-range pressure back on, but yeah, Hans is going from strength to strength. It'll be interesting to see if Hans goes for a 3rd medium to really try and close the game out, Orange Pest style, or go for another Gren.
I have a feeling that, sorry, Miss Jackson, but this one's for real, because he's going to have to make it be a tank destroyer, Ed. It's got to be the workhorse of his army now. He can't play silly with it, get it caught out in the open. This Jackson has to rescue this game for Oziligath.
Yeah. Al still has 3 riflemen available though. They're just very commendable, because usually every USF player has lost a rifleman by this stage of the game. So he does have a lot of snare capability, but I just think without having an AT gun, or without cheesing with the Calliope, he's just made life a lot harder for himself. It's going to be a big bad P-Gren to round off the pop cap for HelpingHans.
I was going to say...
I like that choice.
But he's gone to battle phase 3, I was thinking, why do that unless you were going to use it? But no, he's going for a Panzer Grenadier. Wow. Look at this bunker in the north, suppressing the major. Can't get the artillery off, he can't get the cap.
May even be a Shrek P-Gren, we'll have to see.
Yeah, could be, could be. By the way, the
Good against
Scott's up to
Scots.
16 kills. He's using his barrage as we speak. The sniper now 62. He's shooting that rifleman as we speak.
I think Oz is one loss main unit away from this calling this GG.
Major
And
still.
sat in the pocket now. He's loving this, Matt.
He loves
Look
it,
at that
yeah.
bunker.
It's like a Roberto Duran. Just put him in the pocket, let him in fight, let him be just sitting there. He loves it. I'll be fine sitting on my Maginot line.
Pack guns
Oh,
opening up
Gren's
now.
annihilated there. The Scott gets Vet 3 and the rifles pick him off. Hans has now lost all 3 original Grenadier squads.
Doesn't like Grens, does he? But does have the manpower nearly to get another P4, so if he just wants to P-Gren it up. I'd almost throw the sniper at this stage. It's not worth that pop cap. 63 kills though. That's quite a record. I think he's doing a drinking game or something. If he doesn't get 100 kills with a sniper against Oziligath, he has to drink.
Just a cry seeing the fuel being floated so much. Ooh, Panzer Grenadiers, by the way, going to hide in ambush behind this house. Interesting strategy. Let's see how it plays out. Sherman's going to go north.
He did go
This
for...
will be juicy. This will be juicy.
Yeah, he did
Here
go
we
for
go. Hold
P-Grens.
fire. And 2 shots through the rear. How about that for you? Bang.
Both connect as well.
Vet 3 Beutepanzer with his turret facing the wrong way.
He's changing shells. There he goes.
Okay.
Ready now.
Oh, we got a mine detonated! Another Taller mine!
Ooh, and I think that's game now. That is game.
Oh, that is beautiful. There we go.
Stolen Sherman outmatching the original USF Sherman.
And Hans on his stream has helped keep the famous co-phrase "Mines win games" very popular. All of his fans associated with him, but it's as old as time itself. But in this case, Hans is very much living the life. Mines do indeed win games as the sniper nearly gets a motor carriage to the face.
17,492 IQ move though to put an
I know,
MV bunker
yeah.
on that VP. That bought him
yeah.
the time to get rid of the pesky major and to, you know, hold it all up, keep the VPs. That's the kind of stuff that I love seeing.
Oh, definitely. It's an OG move, Ed. I mean, Hans is from the old Co-1 days. He's been playing for over 10 years. When it was an OG move, when Aimstrong would do a bunker in a tournament final, and everyone's like, "Wow, a bunker!" So it's not a dirty word to guys that have
great
lived
presence
around.
of mind. That's all I'm saying. It's nothing dirty about it. But here we go. P-Gren's right in the grill.
Oh, how can they
Jackson.
miss?
They only got half.
And here comes the howitzer. Owie. Meanwhile, in the south, we've got a push in from the vehicle crew. Panzer Grenadiers forced away, but here comes that Vet 3 Beutepanzer. Let's get on board. This is symbolic of everything.
Takes out the Sherman, and it's so fast, it's even going to get away snare free. And the Oziligath throws in the towel. GG, folks. Helping Hands coming back from the brink to take that one. Well played to both players.
Right then, let's have a little look at these stats and see the tail of the tape in that one. As let's see what their best units were. Sniper Moxman, 65 kills, not a bad stat to be had. Grenadiers were survivalist, damage taken 8,000.
Survivalist, yet none of them survived. But the Jaeger command squad did, and it did a lot of work for Helping Hands there. But Oziligath must be kicking himself. He was so far ahead in that game. Everything was going his way. And everybody was hyping up the Calliope, like, okay, he's just waiting for the CPs, you know.
Yeah.
And then out came a Scott, and we're like, okay, he's gone the 2v2 meta kind of Scott and Jackson stuff. And we thought, okay, it's still workable. And then boom, Helping Hands steals the Sherman, and yeah, the rest was history. I think that must have just been so painful for Oziligath that it threw him off the game ever after that moment, because it would trigger the most untiltable mountains of players that losing a Sherman to the Gwen
Oh my
squad,
god.
driving off with it.
It was
Auf
a throw.
Wiedersehen, ja.
It was a throw. I've always
Dankeschön.
said it. I've said it a few times. You see in auto match, Ed, these risky repairs, right? You see risky repairs in auto match. You never see risky repairs in World Championship finals.
Well, you don't see USF in
You
Championship
do,
finals.
you do. Of course you do. Nagano plays it. DevM used to play it. Of course you do.
Okay.
I disagree.
But-
You see way more Soviets, but you do see USF from 1 to 3 ratio. You see USF, something like that.
But it's
right?
just one button misclick. I feel for Oziligath there, because we've all done it. We've all thought we've highlighted a different unit and we've pressed retreat, but we've pressed jump out the tank whilst
you
the
think
tank's
that's what it
still
was?
selected. Yeah.
I
I don't think he really wanted to jump out there to fix. We could ask him.
Well, why don't you jump back in? Because it took ages for that MG to suppress it. It was a good 30 seconds before the MG suppressed it. It was just a mistake, man. I don't know. He had time to see it.
Yeah.
I think it was a throw. I'm going to be honest.
But massively capitalized on by Hans, like to keep him in the game. To be fair, he stuck at it when it didn't look good early game. All the Helping Hands fans were like nail bite at the start, but yeah, the sniper held true, somehow survived a Scott barrage, and what I thought was a bit unlucky was Oziligath did some great play with the strafes for that doctrine, and a strafing run hit the sniper right on the head, but it just suppressed him, took away half HP. I don't know how that isn't a kill. So there was a lot of little intricate things along the way that got to the result, but wow, what a fantastic game and an amazing showcase of Code 2 for the peeps still. And we're about 7 years on from the game's release, and we can still get games like that to see and enjoy.
It's great. If you guys want to watch some Battle Bros or some Code 2 2v2 played poorly. Watch some Battle Bros. Oh, there's my horrendous nasal voice. Go
Tune into AEQ.
No, I never play 2v2. God,
and I'll
I've
teach
got
you Battle Bros.
Absolutely no. Go and follow Ed's Twitch channel so you see when he's next online and stuff. It's just there in chat. If you want to watch this, dude, it's okay to plug yourself. When
more dormant than my own company.
Oh yeah. If you want to go watch these games later, go subscribe to me on YouTube. And yeah, hopefully you're enjoying yourself. This is GCS3. This is going to be a live event in Denmark in 2 weeks' time, and we're just getting into the meat of things now. We're getting all the games played, the round 1 games. And as you've just seen, it's currently the last round 1 game, and Hans is winning 1-0 in a best of 3. So tomorrow we'll buy the... Go on.
Makes me think this... So we were saying this was a bit of a sleeper. Hans wasn't really the favorite coming into this series as much, but he's proved his worth there in game 1 and with a great comeback. But now it's just got me thinking. I just saw on the other side of the brackets there, Elpen and GIA. I don't think that's a foregone conclusion for Elpen.
It really isn't.
So
GIAA is an OG. He's an original gangster from the good old days of Kotu's kind of peak. It's still got peak playership, but I mean like peak as in when you would usually expect a game to be in its peak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got the same player numbers as back then, but Isilda's shy. He doesn't want to come to a live event, despite what you might say.
I think he came on the scene years ago, GIA,
on
Code 2, because I saw like a German profile once, and I was like late night Code 2 boomer gaming once, and I saw a German flag, and I thought maybe that was Loveness, but it wasn't him. I think it.
Well, if you want to hear some awful casting, go and watch me in 2015 casting GIAA versus Jove.
Welcome to the 14th episode.
Wow, so he is an OG.
Yeah.
Yeah, good old Jove.
You want to see a Sherman stolen in the middle of a game by Fallschirmjägers dropping from the sky? Watch this game. It's really cool.
Spoiler alert.
Well, nobody's going to go back and watch a
cast. Great map.
Watch this
Cast episode 14. It's a fantastic move from Jove, unleashing the Fallschirmjägers from the ambient building, throwing in the bundle grenade, killing the repairing crew, and then, of course, a little bit of Grand Theft Auto. He takes the Stuart for his own, and the action rolls on.
Ed, imagine being GIAA. Not only does that happen to you, you get reminded about it 7 years later.
Wow, thanks to you, Matt. Yeah, I'm sure you'll love me for that one at GCS3. But he gets to rewrite history in this tournament, so I'm looking forward to seeing him up against Elpen, who I've had the pleasure of playing against in a tournament randomly once as well. What was even for that, Matt? That was some streamers cup that you woke me up to play or something.
Woke up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
Patreon cup or
No,
something.
it was-
No, streamer cup. Yeah,
It
streamer
was
cup.
definitely early. It was early.
Oh, go on. Let's give Ed his dues. Let's go show Ed's finest moment in
No, I think
play.
it was earlier. Though there are no finest moments, but it was a great game one. Well, that's what I remember of Alpen.
So this is when we were doing
This barraged me into oblivion.
Patreon. It's not the Patreon. It's a streamer cup. That was it.
Yeah,
did
somebody
this.
couldn't make it. It was early, so I don't think NA streamers could make it. So I stepped in. This becomes a theme
something
of
like
getting
that.
absolutely slaughtered in tournaments for your amusement, Matt. But and you
There
got
it is.
my old
But this is
photo.
interesting. If you see in the
It's
bottom, Ed refused all handicaps, and I had to write. He made me write. I think game one was 52 minutes for the record books.
There we go. I didn't make you write that.
You did. You said, Matt, that's rubbish that I got 2-0. I did really well.
Borrow Badger 2-1 helping hands then.
Yeah, Hans was rusty back then. Still is, actually. Borrow's
Orange
quite good,
beat
to be fair.
Elpen then. Could it be Sweden Civil War Vengeance for Elpen this time around? So yeah,
Yeah.
some good matches up in there.
Before that was Orange Pest's only ever win. He actually has now won a real tournament in the ML Finals 2020, blah, 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 blah. That one. So, yeah.
So many tourneys, Matt. Fair play.
At what point are you just bad and no longer rusty?
Asking
Yeah.
for a friend. I don't know where bad subsides and rust takes over, but I'd say who are we asking about, or just in general? I'd say
GIAA, I think.
you can always be bad, but you can't always be rusty. That's what I'll say.
Oh, Gibber, that's not very nice. Orange Pest beat Markov, Inca, and Love Nest to win that. That's real, surely.
Yeah.
You could count it. They're players.
Any win against Loveness in any game, whether it's Scrabble or whatever, I'm sure people would take it. But fun fact, random
Okay.
fact, Matt.
Okay.
Playing Dota 2, just
Yeah.
minding my own business with a German friend, la 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 la, talking shit.
Yeah.
He invites some German friend to join us. So like, okay, Q, can all feed together. And he used to be in the same class as Lovenest at school. And Lovenest used to copy off him for his physics exams or whatever. And he's
Really?
like, yeah, I know Stefan. Because I was like, I have to play Stefan in a few weeks or whatever. Or this guy called Lovenest. And he's like, yeah, I know Lovenest. You mean Stefan? I was like, yeah. Literally playing
Yeah.
Dota 2 with his old schoolmate.
That's
So,
amazing.
small world. And hopefully he never tuned in to see the games. But yeah.
I doubt it.
But yeah, there you go. Bit of story time in between the games.
Yeah, he's ghosted him, basically. Yeah, that's right, sure. Everybody, there's only 17 people here, really.
Good stuff. So
Okay, we're
game
gonna have a
two,
little. I'm
Matt.
gonna force us to have a break. We're on a roll, Ed, but we've got a bit of adrenaline. Let's have a little break, though, so we
Yeah,
stay
yeah.
fresh.
Fair enough.
See you in 5 minutes, guys, for the next game. Cheers.